Good morning, dear students. Once again, welcome back to the world of Python programming language. Today, we can start our next chapter, functions. Today's topic is functions. Functions of Python program. What is a function? A function means programming block of codes. It is a programming block of codes which is used to perform single or related task. Once again I am repeating, it is a programming block of codes which is used to perform single or related task. It will work or it will run when we called that function. Okay, it will work when we call that function. Okay, then in this function we can pass parameters, we can pass datas. Okay, that datas are called parameters. We can pass parameters or datas, that particular datas are called parameters. Okay, function parameters. Then we already familiar with some functions. For example, print. Print is a function. Why it is called as a function? Because when we give this print function, we will get the result in a printed format. Okay, result will print. Print is used for printing that particular result. It is a inbuilt function. It is an inbuilt function. Why it is called as a inbuilt function? It is already prepared in this Python language. Okay, when we use this print, when we use this function, when we use this command, we will get the printed format. We will get the result in a printed format. Okay, so that is why it is calling a inbuilt function. It is already built, already prepared in that particular program or Python program. Okay, then here we are going to discussing about user defined functions. We can create our own functions based on our requirement. Did you understand what I say? Print is a inbuilt function. It is already prepared in Python programming language, but here we are going to discussing about user defined function. If you want to prepare a block of statement as a function, you can do with the help of that giving syntaxes. Okay, then what are the advantages? What are the advantages are there for this function? Functions means I already explained, it is a programming block of codes which is used to perform a single or related task. Okay, then what are the advantages of functions? First one is program development is very easy. Okay, program development is very easy. If we are developing a program, if we are developing a project, we can easily divide that project into different programmers through this function. Okay, with the help of this function, we can divide a particular project into different peoples, different programmers. Okay, they can develop their own part, and after that finally we can integrate this entire program. Okay, that is the first advantage of function. Program development is very easy, very simple. We can equally divide, we can divide our entire program or that entire project into modules, and each programmer can easily maintain that their own section. Okay, then second one is testing. Testing of that particular program is very easy, because each program in a program many functions will be there, and each function has its own properties and all. Then we can easily test each functions. We can easily test each functions. Each function will use its own parameters and all, but when we test that particular program, when we what is testing, after compiling and running, or compiling and execution, we can give the values, corresponding values for that particular program, and we can check that whether that result is true or not. That is called testing. So here that testing is very easy. How it is very easy? Because all these programs are divided into different modules, and different functions are there. We can easily locate and correct that particular function. Okay, if in a function, suppose in a particular function a particular error is there. Okay, then we know that error is, after testing we can understand that that error is there or not. Okay, if that error is occur in that particular function, we can easily correct. That's why we are saying that easily we can locate that error and correct it. Okay, so its testing is very easy. Then third one, code can share. Okay, one programmer, he created a function, then that same function is using by another programmer also. Okay, at that time we can share that particular code to another programmer or another person. Okay, that is why we are saying this code can share is another advantage of this function. Okay, did you understand what I say? Then fourth one, code reusability. Code reusability. Once again we can reuse that code. If you created a function in Python program, okay, once you created a function in a Python program, after that same code, same function we can reuse. Okay, so this is another advantage, code reusability. Then fifth one is code's length can reduce. Code's length can reduce. How code's length can reduce? Because with the help of this function, once we declared a function, we can call that particular function with the help of different statement that we will discuss in the next class. Anyway, we can easily call that particular function again and again. Okay, so its length, repetition of codes will reduce. So codes length can reduce. Okay, once we declare a function, that same function we can reuse. We can call that same function into different parts of that program, so its length can reduce with the help of this function. Okay, these are the main advantages of function. Program development is very easy. We can easily divide a program into different programmers, or we can divide that particular project into different programmers, and so the program development will be very easy. Then testing is also very easy. Why? We can easily locate the errors and we can easily correct it. So testing also very easy. Then third one is code can share. We can easily share the code for other programmers also. Same code can share. Then code reusability. Once we declare a function, that code we can reuse again and again, then so that its length will be very less. We can easily reduce the length of the codes. We can call that particular function into different parts of the given program. Okay, so no need of that repetition of codes. We can directly call that particular function to different parts of the given program. So these are the advantages of functions. Then another topic, we already discussed what is function, what are the advantages of function and all. Then now we can discuss about how to declare this function. How to declare this function. For define this function, we can use the keyword def or def, definition for define. Okay, you can use this keyword def. We can create a function def my own function print hello from function. Did you see this one? Actually, this is a function definition. This is a keyword for defining a function. Def my own function. This is the function name. Okay, this is the function name. This is keyword. Define function. This function, my own function, is the function name. Then print. This is a simple command. Print hello from function. Okay, this is a simple function definition. Example for function definition. Then how we can call this function into another part of that particular program. Print function before calling. My own function. Print function after calling. Okay, this is the keyword for defining a function. My own function is a function name. Then print hello from function statement. Then print function before calling. My own function. Did you see this one? This my own function we already used here. This is the function name. This is the function call. Did you understand what I said? This is the function declaration. Function declaration. This is the function call. Okay, when we call this function name, when we call this my own function name, what will happen? This statement will execute. Okay, did you understand what I say? Here one function is given, some statements are given. When we call this function name, the given statement will execute. Okay, instead of that repetition of the same code, here we given some statements. For avoiding that repetition, we can call this function from here. When we call this function, this given statement will execute. Did you understand what I said? This is the function declaration. Some statements are given. When we call this function, what will happen? This statement will reach here and it will execute. Okay, for calling. Okay, that's why we already used, we can call that function, we can call that data, and that data are called parameters. Okay, we can call data for a function, that data are called parameters. For example, for adding two numbers, here one function is declared, define add or sum, define sum. Define sum. This is a function. Suppose this is a function, then C equal to A plus B. Here two parameters are used, A and B, for adding two numbers. When we call this function like sum, if you are using this function, if you are calling this function, what will happen? That sequence of statement will execute here in that calling functions. Okay, so that values are called parameters. These A and B are called parameters. When we call that data, some values can given, that values are called parameters. Okay, we can call easily we can call that data, and that data are called parameters. Then in a function, we can declare variables as global variable and local variable. Okay, when we declare a variable in a function, we can declare in both ways, local and global. What is local variable? Local variable means that variable can access only within that function. Okay, variables can access only within that particular function. Okay, no outside scope, that means we can't access that variable from outside. But next one is global variable. Global variable means we can access that variable from outside also. Okay, outside of that function. Did you understand what I say? In local variable, we can access that variable within that function only. But in global variable, when we consider global variable, that we can easily access from the outside of that particular function also. Okay,